This is a Rainbow Workbook lesson for English First Additional Language, Grade 4, Term 1, Lessons 5, 6, 7, and 8. In this lesson, the topic of focus is on why we sometimes miss school. Reading time. Are you ready to read with your friends? We are going to read a story about a girl called Mapula. The story is divided into 3 parts. Look at the picture. Can you tell what the story is about? Put up your hand and tell your teacher. Yes, it's about a house on fire. Let's read the title of the story together. Why Mapula did not come to school. Mapula did not come to school today. There was a big fire at her home. Mapula's family uses paraffin for cooking at home. They have a red paraffin stove. Mapula has a young brother, Tami, who never listens to anyone. Last night, Tami played with the stove, even though it is not allowed. He also found the matches that someone had carelessly left lying around. The little boy lit the stove and then, in his excitement, knocked the stove onto the carpet. Soon, the small room was ablaze. Wonderful reading! That was the beginning of the story. It tells us what happened and what the problem is. Luckily for Tami, Mapula carried the little boy out of the house. She asked the kind neighbors to phone the fire brigade. They arrived very quickly and they used their long hoses to put the fire out. Soon, the whole house was filled with water and smoke. The fire was put out before Mapula's angry parents came home. Everything in the room had been burned and Mapula was very sad because her favorite baby doll and her beautiful workbooks were also burned in the fire. Very good. That was the middle of the story. We read about how the main problem was sorted out. Now let's read the end to see what happened after that. Today Mapula helped her mother to clean their house. She hung all the wet blankets and curtains in the sun to dry. Meanwhile, little Tami had been sent to preschool so that he could stay out of trouble. Tomorrow, Mapula will go back to school. Her mother will buy her a new school bag. You read so well. Thank you. So we read that everything worked out okay in the end. Even though there was a lot of damage, no one got hurt and the house was not burnt down. Now let's see if you remember the order of how things happened. Listen to these 2 sentences and say which one came first in the story. Tami knocked over the stove. Tami lit the stove. Yes, that's correct. Tami lit the stove, then he knocked it over. Listen to the next 2 sentences. The fire brigade came and put the fire out. Mapula's parents came home. Well done! You remembered the right order of the story. The fire brigade put out the fire before Mapula's parents came home. Now you can ask your friends more questions about the order of events in the story. Draw a picture about this story in your exercise book. Remember to include a burning house, the fire engine, and firemen putting out the fire. Wordplay. Hello, learners. Let's look at the picture we drew in the last lesson. Listen to the questions. The answers are in the story. Point to the firemen. Where do they work? I say, where do the firemen work? You say, the firemen work in the fire brigade. Now you try. Where do the firemen work? You say. Nice. Point to Mapula's house. It is on fire, so we say that it is ablaze. You say, the house is ablaze. I say, what is wrong with Mapula's house? You say, yes, that's right. I say, why was Tammy naughty to play with the stove? You say, he was not allowed to play with the stove. Now you try. Why was Tammy naughty to play with the stove? You say, terrific. I say, what kind of stove did Mapula's family have in their house? You say, they had a paraffin stove. Now try that. What kind of stove did Mapula's family have in their house? You say, fantastic! You understood the story very well. Sentence play. Let's see if you can improve these sentences by adding words that describe the objects. Listen carefully to the sentence. The fire engine arrived at the house. How could we describe the fire engine? Is it big? Is it red? Right. So we could add those two adjectives. The sentence would then be, the big red fire engine arrived at the house. Say that with me now. The big red fire engine arrived at the house. Super! Now let's look at the house. Is it big or small? Yes, it is small. So let's add that adjective to the sentence. Say, the big red fire engine arrived at the small house. Good. Now listen to the next sentence. The sister carried her brother out of the house. Let's add words that describe the sister, the brother, and the house. Let's say, the clever sister carried her young brother out of the burning house. Let's say that together now. The clever sister carried her young brother out of the burning house. Fabulous! Well done, grade 4s. Sound play. Get ready for a listening game. Let's begin. Listen to these words. The, that, there, then, they, this. Can you hear the sound at the beginning? Let me say the words again slowly. The, at, that, there, in, then, a, they, is, this. Nice! We hear the sound. This time, I say the sounds and you put them together to make the word. Ready? Is. Yes, the sound in those words is quite hard. Listen. Is. There are other words with the letters T and H where the sound is softer. Listen to some of these words. Think, thought, thumb, throw, 3. I will say the sounds and you put them together to make the word. Think. Wonderful! Think is the word. Can you tell the difference between the hard and the soft TH sounds? Listen to these words. Thank, through. Are those soft or hard sounds? Good. They are soft sounds. Listen to these two. There. they. Are these soft or hard sounds? Yes, they are hard sounds. That was very good. Well done. Playtime. We are going to play a fun game now. Listen to the word and then think of other words that are linked to that word. Let's practice together first. The first word is fire. What do you think about when you hear the word fire? How about flames? Let's try that. I will say fire and you respond by saying flames. Listen. Fire. You say? Great! Now let's think of another word that is linked to fire. What about smoke? Say smoke. That's good. Try an idea of your own. Remember, the word is fire. Super! Stop. Here's a new word. School. Think of words that are linked to school. Wonderful! The next word is book. Well done, grade 4s. I'm so pleased.